May 22nd, 2016 marked a very important day in the career of Cody Rhodes. Since his rise in 2007, Rhodes managed to bust through doors and show people that he's much better than they thought he was. In Randy Orton's legacy, he was seen as the weak link, but a move to SmackDown did wonders for the American Nightmare. By 2012, many, including myself, believed that Cody Rhodes was a future world champion. He was a good wrestler, a great character, and it seemed like only a matter of time, but it never happened. And being stuck in a mid-card character like Stardust brought Rhodes to the breaking point. His request of reverting back to Cody Rhodes was denied multiple times. His father passing away also brought a change of heart. Why? Because Cody felt that he should shoot for the stars and go all out. But in order for his dream to become a reality, he had to leave the place that gave him the platform to become who he was. So on May 22nd, 2016, Cody Rhodes, after requesting his release, was granted his wish, and for the first time in his career, he was out in the wild. But because of the lack of experience, he needed some assistance navigating the outside world of professional wrestling. Kevin Owens knew that they weren't going to see each other often, so he connected him with his old friends. Cody's journey post-WWE was all over the place. He wrestled in multiple promotions, from indie promotions to New Japan and Impact. He was getting his name out there. He was wrestling the likes of Kurt Angle, but perhaps the biggest impact he made alone, I should note, was in Ring of Honor. At this point in time, Cody was a member of Bullet Club and would slowly become more notable as the months went by. Cody's main goal was the ROH World Championship. He was unsuccessful at War of the Worlds as Christopher Daniels managed to score the W. On this loss, Cody Rhodes excitedly spoke about being disappointed. He praised Christopher Daniels for taking advantage of the triple threat rule and brought attention to himself and Jay Lethal. But he held the brass and the commentary team responsible. Why? Because they were scared of a free agent being their top champion. Because at this point, Cody Rhodes was not officially signed to Ring of Honor storyline. He was a heel, and he wanted to take the title and tour around the world defending it. Cody then beat Frankie Kazarian. As for ROH Best in the World, Cody managed to get his rematch and capture the ROH World Championship. It was a clean victory in the beginning of one of the most divisive ROH Championship reigns, because the consensus was not positive nor negative, it was in between. Some people liked it, some people disliked it. Cody was all happy about this victory, but before he could talk, the former champion came out full of anger. Like, bro, you lost clean, why are you so mad? The brawl was fairly even, refs were getting pushed around, and it was very heated. The brawl was ridiculous, these guys were dressed in suits hitting disaster kicks, springboards, it was crazy. By the time they were separated, the fans wanted more. Cody still wanted his first true promo despite what happened earlier on, and the fans are going insane for him here. He really turned things around in a year. They chanted, "You deserve it," as he thanked the fans for such a generous ovation, and he said that the prince has become the king, and they march on everybody. And just the mere mention of Christopher Daniels got the fans booing. He even claimed that Christopher Daniels lost his smile. Rhodes said that these stitches on his face came from wrestling all around and outside of Ring of Honor. And he mentioned that he still hasn't signed a contract with a company. He said that Sinclair doesn't own the title, the Rhodes family does. Too Sweet chant intensifies. Cody says that he was well aware of people that felt he wasn't on their style. So, what was he going to do about this? He was going to challenge Daniels to a rematch. 2 out of 3 falls for the title. Cody said that the reason Ring of Honor dislikes him is because he's steroid-free, full-time, and he's the world champion. Good promo. Rhodes had the entire crowd behind him, and I've said this before, love him or hate him, there's just something about him. The fans really loved him here to the point where ROH was like, we're going to turn Christopher Daniels heel. On behalf of Daniels, Kazarian spoke and literally turned heel for him, saying the fans weren't there when he lost. He said that the fat marks in a Bullet Club t-shirt were the same people cheering him, and now they turned on him. When Daniels finally spoke, he said that they weren't fanboys when he was Stardust, and this is the same guy that refuses to sign with Ring of Honor. So why would they side with him when he's here doing this and that? After he signed the contract, he realized that these fans are trend jumping, and he promised that when he wins the title, he's going to request his release, and then he'll do things for himself only. Now, about this one, let's talk about it. Christopher Daniels was full of himself, telling the announcer to call him the greatest champion in ROH history. In the beginning, Boo Boo Face refused to compete. He was taking his time. Cody out-wrestled him early on to the point where Daniels started arguing with a kid. Cody's problem, though, was obvious as day. His arm was a red target for Daniels to take control, and at this point, though, he wasn't really going to control Cody, who was still persistent. The champion was really putting in the work, and the challenger had no answer. His answer, of course, was right in front of him, but how is he going to go about it when Rhodes was locking him in the figure 4 and just making things hard? But it came when Daniels pushed him into the referee and kicked him in the balls. Even then, Rhodes responded with his own, and this is when Kazarian tried making an interference, but Skrull, Marty Skrull the villain, was here. In the ring, Rhodes managed to win the first fall, but Daniels used the chair right before the second fall began, and after the commercial break, the Fallen Angel was in control. Even then, he didn't make the most out of this opening, and a one-armed Cody was fighting like hell. He brought out some of that fighting spirit his father was known for and was on the verge of winning the second fall. There was this huge moment for Daniels to win it with the crossroads, but Cody kicked out, so he's going to bring out the Angel's Wing. He hits it, but Cody kicked out again. Best moonsault wasn't to be, and after a counter, Cody hit the crossroads to retain the title. Good one. Cody was booked well here. The emphasis emphasis was placed on his schedule. He was wrestling all over the place, yet he still beat Daniels, who was more than prepared, and to top it all off, he did it with one arm. Shortly afterwards, it was confirmed that at Death Before Dishonor, Cody will face Minoru Suzuki for the title. This was Suzuki's first match in the United States in 25 years, so this was pretty big for Cody. His confidence of having an open challenge brought one of Japan's most feared to the United States. In Atlanta, Cody discussed this match. He asked the fans what happens when the undesirable becomes the undeniable and pointed at the title. He showed love to the title but felt that there should be a change. So he threw the title down and brought out a literal Ring of Honor. Did this mean the title was gone? No, it was still on his waist, but this was it was the most Cody thing ever, It was obviously something he wanted to add to the title belt. The commentary felt that he should focus on a certain somebody who would stop at nothing to win. They're obviously referring to Minoru Suzuki. Cody said that the code of honor has changed. He won't be shaking hands. People will be kissing the ring. The fans certainly wanted to. Now, about their match at Death Before Dishonor, let's talk about it. Unlike the previous matches where Cody was cheered, this was significantly different. He brought out his wife Brandy and was just full of arrogance. It was clear that he had an appreciation for the extravagance. The experience was clearly on Suzuki's side, as you can see here. He wrestled for almost 3 times Cody's career, and the champion was somewhat overwhelmed by the reception and arrogantly asked Suzuki to kiss the ring. This was a huge mistake as he almost found himself in the armbar. The challenger was extremely intimidating, and it got to the point where Cody had to put his wife in the way in order to take the advantage. But then again, fighting Suzuki in this part of the match is like fighting a wall. He was smiling, popping up at random times, and Cody was out of his element. Both men relied on submissions in the middle of the match to wear down or potentially win the match, but it all came down to the crossroads. The way Suzuki was booked throughout the match was strong. He gave the champion hell and pushed him to the very limit. And it's not a great match or anything like that, but it's definitely an important match from this chapter of Cody Rhodes' career. Hell, you could even consider it an important match in Suzuki's career because of the fact that he hadn't wrestled in the US in over 25 years up to this point. He even made Suzuki kiss his ring to top it all off. So where does he go from here? Frankie Kazarian. Kazarian managed to win a battle royal to become the #1 contender. Christopher Daniels was still fuming over the fans choosing Cody over himself and promised that Kazarian will take the title away from the fans. Okay, it's Heavy Metal Rebel against the American Nightmare for the Ring of Honor's most coveted prize. This one was very fast-paced early on, much faster than any of the previous matches. Cody was going for the leg. Kaz was showing off his ridiculous athleticism, and it was the challenger that had the edge. After the commercial, it seemed like he had worn down Cody. Kaz going up top proves to be a huge mistake, leading to the comeback, and from out of nowhere, Kaz hits the slingshot cutter for a 2 count. Off the top, Cody responds with a power slam, and the fans are rallying him on. Reverse suplex into a roll-up-lease bell lock. Kaz is in pain. He's struggling, but all of a sudden, Christopher Daniels comes out. The villain makes the save, and Daniels brings in the belt. This leads to Cody rolling him up with a small package that would have won the match, but the ref didn't notice. Daniels is on the apron. Cody's distracted and takes a backcracker, leading to the bell shot and an unprettier, but he's still kicked out. The villain ends up pushing Kaz off the top. Daniels gets knocked down to the outside, and this leads to a nice sequence, which ends with Cody hitting the crossroads to win it. Damn, there was so much drama. It's overbooked, but so far it's my favorite match in this title reign. Cody Rhodes looked like he was 99 overall, and it was so damn intense. For Cody, he had a busy week for Global Wars. He helped defend the ROH World 6-Man Championship with Bullet Club, but perhaps the most important outing of the week was his ROH World Championship match against Kushida. During the match, Cody complained that the fans weren't loud enough for him, and he trashed them. Kushida once again got him whining about stuff that didn't relate to the match and was overwhelmed. Cody had to rely on those cheap tactics to take control. He was more of a showboater, preferring to stare at the fans and pose rather than continue isolating Kushida. He locks in the figure 4, but before he knows it, the television champion went after that arm and builds momentum. There's this cool moment where Kushida caught him midair with the armbar, but not much came out of it. The crossroads was countered into a variant of the hoverboard lock, and Cody was screwed. With all his will, he fought out, but Kushida still held on, changing the tactics. He was going to go for something different here, but this was a huge mistake as Cody spun him into crossroads position and hit it to retain the title. Good match. I don't think anyone believed Kushida would win it, but they told a good story here. Cody once again gets overwhelmed and regroups his way to victory, and these victories were all clean. Cody didn't cheat to win in any of these matches. Now, the champion had said he was a free agent and he could do whatever he wants. That's all changed. Cody said that this was an authentic moment and he put the hat on. He signed the contract and now he was officially a Ring of Honor wrestler. Cody felt that he should defend the title now, so who was his opponent? He said that this man had one of the best entrances in ROH. Dalton Castle chants intensify, and Cody reveals that it's Cheeseburger. The commentary was underwhelmed, and he told Cheeseburger to kiss the ring, and when he didn't, he slapped him. The champion was having his way with the challenger here. Cheeseburger, though, refused to be pushed around, and at the same time, Cody didn't really see him as much more than a little challenger. There was this little moment, but then Cody locked in the American Deathlock to retain. Quick match, it's not much, just a way to show that Cody cares about challengers when he really doesn't. So who was his next challenger? Scorpio Sky. Cody treated him like a jobber and claimed that as a company man, he's given opportunities to others. Right out of the gate, Scorpio had a sense of urgency to win it. He sent him flying off the top rope and soared over the top rope himself. Scorpio was no cheeseburger, but unlike him, he didn't last as long as Cody locked in the American Deathlock to once again retain. This is a quick sprint. I enjoyed it for the most part, but it's just another match in the title reign. Once again, the open challenge Cody brought upon himself meant he had to face another wrestler. Dalton Castle chants intensify, and he brought in Ian to ask him, like, who should I challenge? And he responded with Dalton Castle. Cody claimed that he wasn't here and brought out Ryan Nova. Nobody knew who he was, and Cody was all confident. Man literally tried eating the damn ring here, and the rookie had a great 20 seconds, but then Cody hit Crossroads and locked in the American Deathlock to retain the title. All of a sudden, Dalton Castle came out. He asked if this is what the most expensive Ring of Honor contract was for, and he said that Cody was a good, not great wrestler. Cody asked if this is Wrestling 101, call him out, be the #1 contender. He then undermined him, saying one call to Paul, and he can develop his skills. Then he could come back when he's ready. He said that his friends took the guaranteed developmental contracts, NXT, and he told him that he could get him one of those. But Dalton Castle was thinking about the Ring of Honor World Championship. He dropped the champion and everyone was chanting his name. Cody returned the favor 2 weeks later with Hangman Page and dropped him in the ring. Now at this point, the match was confirmed. Final battle, Dalton Castle, the #1 contender, against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, for the title in the Hammerstein Ballroom. With Final Battle a week away, a contract signing was held for the match. Cody was looking far too extravagant here, like Vin Diesel and Triple X type extravagant, and even Dalton said that he looked ridiculous. Cody was all about the banter here. He was asked why he's not taking this thing seriously, and he started going on about how he's the champion. This man was doing the most at this point, like he was just saying this and that, eating expensive food over here, asking Dalton to taste it. He was just messing around. Dalton Castle said that he's going to break Cody's heart at Final Battle, then he's going to glue his pieces of heart and break it again. He said that when Cody came to Ring of Honor, he tried so hard to like him. He thought this man was going to help grow the place he loves the most, but then his skinny, stupid ass came here and did nothing. He said that Cody was overdressed, overpaid, and overrated. This was more than enough to light the champion up. Dalton signs, Cody signs, and the match was official. Okay, there it is. Ahead of Final Battle, Cody, of course, had to do something that only Cody Rhodes would do. He decided, you know what, I'm going to unveil the new ROH World Heavyweight Championship, as you can see here. Final Battle proved to be the end of Cody's title run. He debuted the blonde hair here and once again had a big entrance with his wife by his side. Cody was mostly in control early on, and he dropped Dalton through a table, and his wife hit a crossbody on Dalton's guys. They were ejected from ringside, and it was now one-on-one. Back in the ring, the challengers find Foreman starts throwing Cody around. He pushed Cody into the post, and he was busted open. Ref drama, and this is when Cody's tapping. Bangering's unsuccessful, and Cody hits the Crossroads. Dalton, though, kicks out, and this was probably the first time somebody kicked out of the Crossroads in Ring of Honor. From out of nowhere, though, Dalton Castle hits the Bangerang. 1, 2, 3, new champion. There it is. Dalton Castle has captured the ROH Championship. Some consider it a huge upset, but it was the right time for Cody to end his run. Decent. It's not amazing or anything like that, but it's easily one of the most important matches in Dalton Castle's career. He beat Cody, the American Nightmare, the guy who hits a Crossroads and easily wins the match. Here, he kicked out of the Crossroads and beat him for the title as well. So it was a good moment for him. Okay, that's Cody's title reign. Now, I'm going to be honest. There's some matches here that I didn't mention. His match with Sanada. He had a match with Rocky Romero. There's a reason why I didn't mention these matches. With that said, Cody's run was decent. It wasn't great or anything like that. I think if this run happened much later, perhaps in 2019, it would have been looked at much better. It would have had better matches, this and that. Here, he had some decent opponents, Kazarian, Daniels, Dalton Castle, but he didn't really have the extravagant opponents that other ROH champions had in the past. He didn't face Jay Lethal here. He didn't face somebody like Adam Cole, who had just left, of course. And because of that, this run's not going to be looked at as amazing or awesome or anything like that. Plus, the matches aren't really memorable when we look at them. My favorite here was Kazarian, but even that match wasn't out of this world or anything like that. Cody, as a character here, was amazing, though. He really had the crowds in the palm of his hands. He knew what to say. He knew how to say it. His actions, the fact that he was wearing the freaking Vin Diesel Triple X coat, the ROH ring, everything about his character was great here. It was really good, and I think it's a shame we never got to see heel Cody more often after this. Alright, what do you guys think of Cody Rhodes' title run? Please comment down below, and that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the disaster kick on the like button, and perhaps the crossroads on the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.